Rugged as a child from an alien planet and raised in a small prairie town, Rik van Dyke moved to a bustling metropolis to seek his destiny. Armed with the amassed knowledge of movies, television, comic books, rock and roll, and bubblegum, Rik became a cartoonist, writer, movie maker, and now host of his own web show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Rik van Dyke Show.
Came to America, it was redubbed for American audiences as if Australian was another language. I was looking for an Australian dubbed version of Mad Max, and I could not find it anywhere. For years and years I searched. Finally, I get a copy. It's VHS. Third or fourth generation duplication is irrelevant. It was the fact that I had the original Australian dubbed version of Mad Max. A week later, Mad Max comes out on DVD, original Australian dub. Hello, greetings and salutations. I'm Rik van Dyke, and this is my show. I'm here with my special guests.
Greg. John. Mike.
And we're going to be covering a few different topics today, one of which is the Mad Max movie. Has everyone here seen it now, or...?
No.
Yes. No.
I'm in the middle of moving. Cut me some slack.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Should have been there.
I'm kidding.
The place you need to move is to the theater.
Yeah. Don't you worry. I'll be heading down Fury Road soon enough.
It's Fury Boulevard.
That's right.
Make a left. It's next to Fury Crescent.
Sam Jackson cameo, take 2. Why not? You can't do a movie without a Sam Jackson cameo anymore.
I think that's actually part of the Screen Actors Guild walk contract. SAG is like, every movie, Samuel L. Jackson will appear at least once.
Shit.
But you've seen the trailer, obviously. Both
Yeah.
trailers, the full extended one and everything.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on that?
Nicholas Holt's the highlight for me so far. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Guy who
the
plays
most.
in that weird British show. I don't know. It looks like it could be okay. I'm worried about it having the detriment of having the benefit of its budget. I think one of the charms of the original Mad Max movie, which is my favorite, was that you could tell that only Mel Gibson was wearing leather because they could only afford to put the other guys in vinyl.
That's true.
Yes.
So like there was a charm about that. Like it was definitely like a B movie, but it was like the best B movie.
Yeah.
You could not get any better. Whereas this, you give somebody, here's $100 billion, make a car chase.
Well, and that's a problem. I've seen it, and that's even if you compare Mad Max, Road Warrior, and Thunderdome, you can see the progression as the budgets got bigger, it got grander, more. The stylized became more and more. It got bigger and bigger, and this is a $158 million movie. Apparently, that's what the budget was. So, and you can tell.
$158 million car chase.
Pretty much. And that's one of the best parts about it. But also,
I thought that's what Fast and Furious franchise was all about.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a aspect of it that very much comes across as being not necessarily in a positive way. It's very much like almost a rip-off / spoof of like a bad Rob Zombie music video. Like it's very stylized. It's great. Some of it's fantastic. Some of the little bits and pieces, without, I don't want to ruin it for the guys that haven't seen it, but are really cool and interesting. But there's a lot of like very stylized skulls and everything, like made out of very handcrafted like chrome and steel, and it's all like too much of it, and it comes across not in a necessarily good way. You compare even Thunderdome to this, and Thunderdome was like the biggest, the most Hollywoodish of the Mad Maxes until now.
Ain't we a pair?
It even looks really B compared to that. Like it's cool and all, but just it's bigger and grander and just shinier. Like it's not necessarily in a good way. But there's some fantastically good stuff about it though.
I'm assuming about like 90% of it is digital.
No, matter of fact, 90%
really?
is practical.
Yeah,
Really? Some of the stuff I've seen does not look.
Some of the stylized,
no.
the stylized in the way that it's shot, it's definitely there is some touch-ups.
Who's the guy with the guitar?
Well, that's one of the goofy parts about it. And
I
that's,
liked it. Yeah, it was funny.
and that's where it does come across as like a really bad like spoof of like a bad 80s 90s metal video.
How's the action?
The action's fantastic. It's brilliant. Like, I mean, it is literally relentless. It is relentless from.
It's like when you get a roast beef dinner, though. It's the roast beef that's important. The Yorkshire pudding can be
if you can turn your brain if you can turn your brain off a little bit, it's brilliant.
I can do that.
There's a little bit lacking that in terms of like there's no plot. Really, there's no real. I mean, there's a rough plot, but there's not really any character development, that kind of stuff. So if you're looking for that, it's you'll be somewhat disappointed. But
did they try to explain Mad Max's backstory, or do they just assume you know who they have? This
Max doesn't really have a backstory, but they do sort of revisit how they kind of did it in Road Warrior, where it's like the world came to an end for this reason. They did a little montage at the start, so it's like it makes sense, and it is sort of in the timeline, and apparently it's supposed to be in between Road Warrior and Thunderdome. It's kind of where in the world where it kind of happens. That was my understanding. I've heard that, whether that's true or not. So it's supposed to be in there somewhere. So
see, I heard that it was that each of the Mad Max movies is to be experienced as its own individual movie. That they shouldn't have any continuity between it, and that the continuital aspects between Road Warrior and the original Mad Max were simply for the purposes of setting up the world so that they could.
Well, it could be sort of the man with no name sort of aspect, because I mean, really, he's the man with no name, the Eastwood, but I mean, the movies really have no continuity at all between them, right? So, but it's sort of
the first one in Mad Max had because he's driving the same car, he's still wearing the same outfit. It's obviously down the line, and it's battle damaged, and it's
the Interceptor's in it too, which is awesome. So, and it kind of starts that way. So
kind of a lot of a Kevin Smith universe vibe then, where everything is connected, but it's all self-contained stories within that same.
Yeah, it's almost like it becomes an iconic character that it's not really a character that's the same person through. It's like the sort of the mythological creature. It's
interesting.
Like it is the man with no name. Really, it's the Aussie version of the man with no name.
So how come everything is being relaunched now?
Yeah.
There's a relaunch of relaunches. Like Spider-Man's been relaunched like almost as many times as Spider-Man's been relaunched in the comics now.
Yeah.
Like why do you think they did that? Why do you think they said,
Mad Max, you mean?
Yeah, instead of like let's just relaunch. Let's take the original and let's get this guy and we'll make it, we'll sort of do the relaunch thing.
Well, George Miller's been trying to get this movie made for 15 years.
Yeah, it was going to be Mel Gibson still. It was going to be somewhat sequel-ish. And 2001, they were set up. They had pre-production. I think they spent millions of bucks in Namibia. They shot it in Africa, Southwest Africa. And sure, planes fly into the Twin Towers and 9/11 happens. And
so it's Bin Laden's fault.
It is Bin Laden's fault. No one's ever going to give you insurance to shoot a $100 million movie in Africa, with a big set of.
So what you're saying is because this movie has come out, the terrorists haven't won.
That's right.
Excellent. Well, they originally it was also going to be shot in Australia.
Yeah,
that would make sense.
In the same Badlands where they shot all the original movies.
Yes.
Except for they had a 1 in 100-year rainfall, where the sea of sand became flowers. That
would have been lovely.
I'm kidding.
Well,
what a lovely day.
Work with the. Once again, I don't have any spoilers, but.
But so yeah, they had to change locations and they decided to shoot it.
Because I remember there were rumors that Mel Gibson was in, he was out, it was going to be a sequel, and then finally he was like, I'm too old to be Mad Max.
No, it's definitely worth a see though. It's awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
My only worry about it, you can tell that the filmmakers were really passionate about the original content, and it's just one of those: are they making a film for them, or are they making a film for everybody? Kind of works.
Yeah. Because when when filmmakers make a film for themselves, it usually stays that way.
Pretty much.
They it's just for them because they're the only ones who will go see it. Kind of like Cannonball Run 2, which is I love. No, hear me out. Cannonball Run 1, as ridiculous as it was like still an enjoyable comedy. Cannonball Run 2, halfway through it, you're like, they literally were writing the script on napkins as they were like sipping cocktails. Like, what if there's a helicopter with a magnet and he picks up the car? He's like, that's funny.
The castle lights are growing dim. There's no one left but me and him. When next we meet on the Rik van Dyke Show, don't come alone. we're ready to go. The costumes are virtually completed, just some aging and whatnot. The props are, for the most part, completed. We have all the weapons and the majority of the cast in place. We've already started rehearsals, and yeah, we just need the additional funds to be able to get this project completed.